You're listening to the Unbelievers podcast.
There were several groups. One of the principal ones was the reptilians from the Orion complex.
Without any exaggeration, it was like being on fire inside.
Rats were eating them inside.
This stuff was in my mouth. It felt like it was 500 pounds. It was unbelievably hot.
My first question would be, were you a member of the Church of Satan, a card-carrying member of the Church of Satan? I don't understand.
There's always an argument for everything. You know, just because somebody can fake something doesn't necessarily mean it's full war and we found a life form. And that's when I started shitting my pants.
So for the person who called, I am carrying an alien.
An alien baby, and we cover it right here, okay?
Okay.
Something is happening. What is it? That's the question. So do UFOs exist? It depends on what you mean exist.
Legendary and mythical cryptids have sparked fear and curiosity for centuries. Bigfoot, the elusive hairy wild man. Nessie, the lake-dwelling Scottish monster. Rods. But these mythic mysteries saw a new member join their ranks in the 1990s grunge era. A fearsome, unknown entity reported in Puerto Rico and South America with sharp claws, bloodthirsty fangs, and glowing red eyes. So join us now as we talk about a beast so vicious and so violent that its name translates literally as the goat sucker. That's right, mija. We're talking about El Chupacabra, right here in El Programa, donde continuas aprendiendo, desaprender todo lo que sabes. Hello and welcome to the Unbelievers podcast. I'm your host, Russ Ryan, and tonight I'm joined by my co-host in California, Drea Mora. Hello, Drea.
What's up, Russ?
And on Long Island, our soundboard engineer and producer, Rob Oakey.
Look at that mouth.
What's up, guys?
Rob's mouth.
What's happening?
How you doing, Rob? So yeah, here we are again. We got a good subject tonight because, man, 2 weeks in a row of spooky stuff, haunted dolls, Ouija boards. Enough, right?
No, never enough.
No? Well, I don't know. I think we got a message from some other podcasts like, hey, knock off the spooky stuff. It's kind of our territory. So
come on.
It's fine. We'll knock it off for tonight.
Spooky stuff to go around.
There's plenty of spooky.
And this is a little bit spooky, too. Not on the same grounds, but hey, this is something I bet you're going to love this one tonight, Drea. We are talking about Chupacabras tonight.
Oh, finally. Finally. Yay.
The one you in particular have been waiting for, championing, if you will.
I love the Chupacabra. I'm the Chupa champion.
Oh,
I'm ready for this shit.
Well, I don't know.
Wow, I
you
like
might have some
it.
competitors up against you. It's a big field. You got to start small usually. But all right. Well, let's just get right into it then. Let's figure that out. Here we go. Unbelievers podcast. Chupacabra.
What's that sneaking around at night? It sure ain't no coyote with a parasites. He's giving all of the locals a fright. He's Chupacabra. He's a little green being with a reptile skin, walking around the wild with an evil grin. He's thirsty for goat's blood till he sucks it all in. He's Chupacabra.
Yeah.
Chupa, 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 chupa.
I've never heard
like
this
that
song
one?
before. Yeah, I love it. This is great.
Yeah, that's a great song from a new to me at least, artist named The Paranormal Song Warrior. He's great.
Holy shit.
Where did you
find this?
He's got songs like The Moon is a Spaceship. He's got a song called Shadow People. And you know what? He's got a song about Mel's Hole.
What?
Now play the next song. You want to hear a little bit of the Paranormal Song Warriors, Mel's Hole?
Fuck yeah.
I need to.
All right, this is a bit of a slow burn. Let it play for a little bit. Let's hear it. Mel's Hole.
Mel's Hole. Oh, oh, oh.
go, listen.
Just how deep it is, there's no way of knowing. Because Mel's hole, it just keeps on going and
yes,
going.
That's him. That's the
going and
keeps going and going. Great.
going and going.
I like that.
Going and going.
Well, there it is.
He's great, man. That's really good.
Yeah, the Paranormal Song Warrior. Check him out. He's awesome.
Badass.
I love it. That's great. That's a cool style. What genre of music would you call
He's
it?
paranormal.
Oh,
his genre is paranormal song, and he's awesome. We'll check him out. And man, he's got so many. We're going to end up having him in so many episodes. He had a song called, like, Incubus Got My Wife Pregnant, but I'm okay with it. It's something, but I'll raise the
They were
child.
having troubles
Something
anyway.
But yeah, check him out. Maybe we'll hear more from him later. But tonight we are talking Chupacabra is going to reach right out and grab yous. And let's just hear the basic from the old cryptid wiki. El Chupacabra is a cryptid that is renowned for its attacks on livestock, hence the Spanish name, the goat sucker. It supposedly eats chickens, goats, and other farm animals and pets. It has been reported all over the Americas, specifically the southwestern United States, Mexico, and Puerto Rico. There are two common versions of the Chupacabra. There is a reptilian kind, the true Chupacabra, and a canid kind, which is also called the blue dogs, right?
Oh.
There have been more than 2,000 sightings of both types. When it sucks blood, it allegedly makes an odd noise. And their first known attacks were in March of 1995 in Puerto Rico. 8 sheep were discovered dead, each completely drained of blood. Investigators found 3 strange puncture wounds in the chest of the animals. Despite the odd circumstances, authorities could only attribute the killings to a known predator, a fox perhaps. Others, however, recognized the similarities in these deaths to the enigmatic cattle mutilations which had been taking place in the American Southwest with increasing regularity. But this is what we're going to talk about tonight. To start off, we're going to talk about these first ever sightings of this El Chupacabra in Puerto Rico in 1995.
Russ, I got to say, your pronunciation of Puerto Rico is beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I've been working on it, and hopefully we'll see some improvement over previous episodes tonight. But it's strange that this is... you guys realize, so it was discovered... now I just can't say regular English words.
Now you can't speak English.
But I got Puerto Rico down. This is a cryptid this has been discovered in our lifetime. Like, it wasn't until 1995 that we ever had a Chupacabra. That's kind of weird to think about, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was one of the first things I could really relate to. Like, well, I can't remember my age at 1995, but I do remember that distinctly.
Yeah, it's one of like the few like modern day monsters, I guess. That like,
yes.
Is there ancient legends about the Chupacabra? There isn't.
No, there isn't.
No,
this is
not
it.
at all.
And we learned about these early accounts. We get a great source for tonight that we're going to use, and this is possibly where many have first heard the story of El Goatsucker. That's right, from TV's Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack.
Oh shit!
Yes.
He's back.
Yeah, good.
Stack's back.
He's back. Stack is back for more.
Yep. The scale of Robs has returned. The Stack is back. That's
my
great.
boy, my fellow Rob.
We went so long without ever using Unsolved Mysteries, and now it's just like. But this is where
now it's going to be every day. I don't mind if it's every week we have to deal with this guy. I love him.
But he broke this. This is the new cryptid on the scene in the 90s. This is a new edgy Gen X extreme cryptid. The grunge, not grunge,
extreme.
Of monsters.
Yeah.
And this is where
grunge.
This is where Chupacabra makes his pop culture debut right now on Unsolved Mysteries.
This is the Yunque rainforest on the island of Puerto Rico.
What?
A tropical paradise, perhaps best described as heaven on earth. But something is reportedly lurking on the fringes of the forest. A mysterious beast which has turned heaven into hell.
When it moved, I could see it had something here on its head. It was like a crest, but it moved and made a noise. When I saw him stick out his pointed tongue, and when he held his claws and crouched for an attack, I thought I was the next victim.
I felt like he was watching me because of certain movements made by his eyes. I could see 3 fingers on each hand, and on each finger, very long claws.
They call the beast Chupacabras. It preys on livestock and domesticated pets. It may look like a creature out of a low-budget horror film, Yet these composite drawings are based on eyewitness descriptions from dozens of Puerto Ricans. In this day and age, it seems almost impossible that such a creature might exist. Tales of the Puerto Rican monster have been dismissed as fantasy and imagination. Its attacks attributed to wild dogs or monkeys. Some of the images you're about to see are unpleasant, but necessary to understand the phenomenon of chupacabras.
Yeah, that's your trigger warning. And what, monkeys? Monkeys?
Oh, come on, it's ridiculous.
I don't know, the idea
that monkeys was the cause of this incident was totally ridiculous.
Totally ridiculous. Totally ridiculous.
You would think that 7 adults would be able to tell the difference between a monkey and something supernatural.
Well, they're not sure yet. They just discovered it.
Just because you don't know what it is doesn't mean it's supernatural, but it doesn't mean it's monkeys. Come on.
And hearing that doesn't sound like what we kind of almost still think of now as these dogs. That sounds more like the little reptilian monster one.
Yeah, that's definitely something that threw me off. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
sounded pretty nasty.
Yeah, that's why they say there's 2. It's strange. Let's hear about though. Here is the Puerto Rico case now, and let's find out what's so disturbing about it.
David Negron was one of the first to encounter the beast. Before dawn on September 9th, 1995. David went out to check on the family goat. David was startled to discover that his goat had been killed.
After I found the goat dead, I was standing there looking around, and that's when I saw the creature. It was black and hairy. It had large red eyes and a crest on top of its head. When I saw it, I felt scared and I began to run. I've never seen anything like that, and I've never been that scared before.
Later that day, investigators from the civil defense were called to the scene. When they examined the goat, the only injuries they found were 2 small puncture wounds on the back of its neck.
Whoa.
Yet surprisingly, the goat had been almost entirely drained of its blood.
Yeah, like Dracula. It is a Dracula monster in the beginning.
Smokula.
Still. No.
Not Smokula.
It's not.
It sounded like.
It sounds like the little hairy guy. It's what it sounds like.
It sounded like a
black sheep.
Could be. Yeah,
sheep.
There's a lot hairier than you think now because everyone keeps getting confused with something that has mange or something. But now we're going to hear from a journalist who's investigating this creature. Here is Jorge Martin.
Over the next 3 months, dozens of attacks were reported. The targets were all small animals. Strangely, their carcasses were largely intact. Journalist Jorge Martin followed up many of the stories, began to see a pattern.
In many occasions, these are puncture wounds, about, I would say, maybe a 4 to a half an inch in size, perfect circles. These small puncture wounds go into the animals. In most occasions, we have found that they seem to go right to the brain of the animals and kill the animals, affecting the brain and the nervous system of the animals. In other occasions, they go right straight into the animals in different areas, as if looking for certain organs. In most occasions, the organs affected are the livers of the animals and the reproductive systems of the animals too.
That's a nice way of saying it. You're talking to the genitals.
Yeah, so they're not chupacabras so much as they are chupa dicks. So they're sucking dicks.
Everything.
My God.
Brains, genitals,
livers,
butts, genitals, all that stuff. Everything.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
you're wild.
Journalists are on the case.
Look at that mouth.
Yeah, this is like the origin story of chupacabras also. But even bigger than journalists, they got elected officials, all right? They are now getting involved. And here is Mayor Jose Huerto.
Attacks have been reported all over Puerto Rico, with the greatest concentration in the village of Canóvanas, 30 miles east of the capital city, San Juan. By October of 1995, even the mayor of Canóvanas, Jose Soto, had taken an active role in the investigation.
I began to take an interest in this matter when I visited a farm where 5 sheep had been killed. I saw 2 wounds in the neck, and on some a 3rd mark. It attacks various animals, but mostly sheep and rabbits, because they cannot defend themselves easily.
Over the next few months, Mayor Soto visited